Your energy is changing, Leo. Something real is shifting inside you right now. And this video will walk you through 11 specific things you are going to feel first, before anyone around you even notices what is happening. There is a kind of change that announces itself loudly, the kind everyone can see, the kind that shows up in circumstances and events and obvious turning points. And then there is the other kind, the deeper kind, the kind that begins quietly inside before anything on the outside has moved at all. That is the change you are in the middle of right now. Your energy is shifting, Leo, and it is shifting in a way that is fundamental, not just a mood, not just a good week following a hard one, but a genuine internal reorganization of the way you are moving through your life. You may have already felt glimpses of this without knowing what to call them. A morning when you woke up feeling different but could not explain why. A moment when you looked at a situation that used to trouble you and felt, for the first time, genuinely ready to leave it behind. An unexpected surge of clarity, or warmth, or courage that came from somewhere deeper than your usual experience of yourself. Those glimpses are the early signals. There are 11 specific things you will feel as this energy change moves through you and becomes more consistent. Stay with every single one. By the time this video is done, you will not just recognize what is happening, you will know exactly how to move with it. Thing 1. The first thing you will feel as your energy begins to change is a new quality of stillness inside you. Not the stillness of being stuck, not the stillness of exhaustion, but a deep, grounded quiet that sits at the center of your chest and holds steady, even when things around you are moving fast. This may feel unfamiliar at first, Leo, because you are a sign that is accustomed to movement, to warmth, to the dynamic and generous flow of your own energy going outward. Stillness can feel strange when you are someone who naturally radiates. But what you are experiencing as your energy shifts is a different kind of strength, the strength of a fire that burns steadily rather than flaring and dimming. When you feel this stillness, do not mistake it for slowing down. It is not slowing down. It is deepening. Your roots are growing. Your center is expanding. The part of you that has always been connected to something larger than the immediate circumstances of your daily life is becoming more accessible, more present, more available to guide you. This new stillness will be the first thing you notice, and it will be the foundation on which all the other changes rest. Everything that is shifting in your energy builds outward from this still center. It is the place from which your next chapter will grow. When you feel it, when you catch that quiet in the middle of your day and think, this is different, this is new, recognize it for what it is. It is the first signal that your energy has genuinely begun to change. Thing 2. The second thing you will feel is a new relationship with your own emotions. Specifically, a greater ability to observe what you feel without immediately being swept up in it. This does not mean you will feel less, Leo. If anything, you will feel more clearly, more precisely, more with your full awareness rather than through the fog of reactivity. But the way those feelings move through you will be different. There will be a moment between the feeling and your response to it. A breath of space where you can see what is happening inside you before you decide what to do with it. This is one of the most significant ways that changing energy shows up, because it shifts the relationship between your inner experience and your outer choices. When emotion and action happen simultaneously, without any space between them, the result is often something you later wish had gone differently. But when that space opens, when you can feel deeply and also observe clearly, your choices begin to reflect your values rather than your impulses. You will notice this in specific situations. A comment someone makes that would have stung before will still land, but you will have a moment to breathe before you respond. A frustration that would have spilled over will still arise, but you will feel it and then choose consciously what to do with it. A joy that would have rushed you into impulsive action will still be there in full, but you will enjoy it with a little more presence and a little less urgency. This new emotional space is the second thing you will feel, and it will change the quality of almost everything you do. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Thing 3. The third thing you will feel as your energy changes is a growing sense of courage. Not the loud, performative kind, but the quiet, bone-deep kind that simply shows up when you need it. Leo is already a courageous sign. You have always been willing to step forward when others step back. But the courage you will feel now is different from what you have known before. It comes from a deeper place. It is less about being bold for others to witness and more about being true for yourself to live with. This is the courage to say what you actually mean in a conversation that matters. The courage to let go of something that has been comfortable but is no longer right. The courage to choose the path that feels true over the path that feels safe. The courage to be honest with yourself about what you want and what you no longer want, and to let that honesty shape your actual decisions rather than just your private thoughts. You will feel this courage in small moments before it shows up in large ones. It will begin as a willingness to say something honest in a low-stakes situation. It will grow from there. And each time you act on it, it will strengthen because courage is exactly like a muscle, and the energy change you are going through right now is giving that muscle fresh energy to build on. Thing 4. The fourth thing you will feel is a change in who and what draws your attention. Your interest will begin to shift, quietly but unmistakably, away from what has occupied it in the past and towards something new. You may find that people who once fascinated you now feel a little less interesting. Activities that once filled your time without question now feel less compelling. Ideas that once seemed important now seem peripheral to what actually matters. And in their place, new interests will begin to arise. Questions you have not asked before. People who carry an energy that feels resonant with where you are going. Ways of spending your time that feel more aligned with the person you are becoming. This shift in attention is the fourth thing you will feel, and it is the energy change expressing itself through your desires. Your desires are changing because your frequency is changing. You are becoming someone slightly different from who you were even a few months ago, not in a way that betrays who you have always been, but in a way that adds depth and direction to it. Follow the new attention. Follow what is calling to you now, even if it does not fully make sense yet. The energy knows where it is going before the mind does. Thing 5. The fifth thing you will feel is a kind of physical lightness, as though something heavy that you had been carrying for a long time has quietly set itself down. You may not have been fully aware of how much you were carrying until you notice that you are no longer carrying it in quite the same way. This can show up as more ease in your body, your shoulders a little less tense, your breathing a little deeper, your sleep a little more restful. It can show up as more physical energy, more appetite for movement, more presence in your senses. The body is deeply responsive to internal energy shifts, and as your energy changes at the deeper level, the body begins to reflect that change in its own language. Leo is a sign with a strong physical presence and a body that tends to carry stress visibly, in tension and restlessness, in the way you hold yourself when you are under pressure. As the energy shift continues, that physical holding will begin to release. You will feel it first in the small things, the sigh that comes from nowhere, the moment when your body relaxes without you telling it to. These are the body's way of saying, something is shifting and it feels good, even if we cannot name it yet. Welcome those moments. They are the fifth thing you will feel. Thing 6. The sixth thing you will feel is a new clarity about what belongs in your future and what does not. Not the anxious kind of clarity that comes from trying to control every outcome, but the calm kind that comes from genuinely knowing at a gut level which direction is right. Some things you have been uncertain about will begin to feel clearer, without you doing anything to force the clarity. You will simply wake up one day and know this is right or this is not. This is mine to continue or this has run its course. This person belongs in my future, or this person is part of a chapter that is closing. This kind of knowing is one of the most valuable things that shifting energy brings. When you are out of alignment with your truest self, everything tends to feel equally uncertain. Every choice looks like a guess, every direction feels like a risk. But when your energy is shifting toward deeper alignment, that fog begins to lift. The choices that are right for you start to feel right. The ones that are not start to feel off in a way you cannot ignore. The sixth thing you will feel is this quiet, growing clarity, the compass beginning to point with confidence rather than spinning in circles. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Thing 7. The seventh thing you will feel is a new quality of generosity. Not the generous energy you are already known for, which flows outward and lights up rooms and makes people feel welcome, but a deeper generosity. A generosity of spirit. A willingness to see others with more patience, more understanding, more compassion than you have offered in a while. This may come as a surprise to you, Leo, because you are already a giving sign. But this new quality of generosity is different. It is less about what you offer externally and more about the softness you feel internally toward people who are struggling, who are imperfect, who are doing the best they can with what they have. You may find that you are less quick to judge, less quickly frustrated by the shortcomings of others, less inclined to hold grievances, more willing to see the full person rather than only the behavior that bothered you. This internal softening is a powerful sign that your energy is shifting upward, that you are operating from a more spacious place inside, a place where there is enough room to hold both the disappointment and the compassion at the same time. The seventh thing you will feel is this expanded generosity of spirit, and it will change the quality of all your relationships. Thing 8. The eighth thing you will feel as your energy changes is a shift in the way you dream. Not necessarily the content of your dreams, but the feeling they carry. Your dreams may become more vivid, more emotionally resonant, more memorable in the morning when you wake. Or they may become more peaceful than they have been recently, less heavy, less anxious, less caught in the loops that troubled dreaming tends to run. Sleep and dreaming are deeply responsive to energy shifts. When your inner life is reorganizing, the dreaming mind becomes more active. It is processing what the waking mind is not yet ready to look at directly. The images and emotions that arise in dreams during a period of genuine energy change are often meaningful. Not in the rigid prescriptive way that some systems claim, but meaningful in a personal intuitive sense that you will recognize when you pay attention. If certain images or feelings from your dreams have been staying with you upon waking, take them seriously. Write them down if you can. Sit with the emotion they carried without trying immediately to analyze it. The eighth thing you will feel is this new quality in your dreaming life, and it is one of the most intimate signals that something real is shifting at the deepest level of who you are. Thing 9. The ninth thing you will feel is a renewed sense of purpose. A feeling that what you are doing with your days matters, that your effort is pointing somewhere, that there is a destination to your movement even when that destination is not yet fully formed. This may come after a period when purpose felt elusive or absent, when you were going through the motions, completing the necessary tasks, but without the inner fire that makes action feel meaningful. The energy change you are moving through now is reigniting that fire. Not dramatically, not all at once, but steadily, like a hearth that has been banked overnight and is now building back up with the morning air. You will feel this renewed sense of purpose as a change in how you approach your tasks. Things that felt like obligations will start to feel more like steps toward something. Effort that once felt futile will begin to feel worth it. Goals that seemed distant will start to feel reachable. The ninth thing is this return of purposeful energy, the feeling that you are going somewhere, and that where you are going is genuinely worth the journey. Thing 10. The 10th thing you will feel is a growing comfort with solitude, not loneliness, which is an uncomfortable absence, but genuine solitude, which is a chosen and peaceful aloneness that fills rather than empties. Leo is a social sign. You thrive in connection. You light up in the presence of people who matter to you, and you give generously of your energy in those spaces. But part of the energy change you are going through right now is a growing capacity to be with yourself without needing to fill the silence with activity or company. This shift toward comfort in solitude is significant because it means your inner life is becoming richer. There is more to be with when you are alone. More clarity, more peace, more of the deep knowing that only surfaces in quiet. You will find yourself seeking solitude in moments you once would have filled with distraction. Not out of withdrawal, but out of genuine desire to be with what is growing inside you. The 10th thing is this new relationship with your own company, and it is one of the signs that your energy is reaching a kind of maturity, a depth that sustains itself rather than constantly requiring external fuel. Thing 11. The 11th thing you will feel as your energy changes, Leo, is the most encompassing of all because it touches everything else and gives it color. It is hope, not the fragile, wishful kind that collapses at the first obstacle, but the kind that is rooted in actual experience. The kind that says, I have been through hard things before and I came through them. I have faced uncertainty before and it resolved. I have doubted myself before and I found my footing again. This is hope that has been earned, not borrowed. And it will begin to live more consistently in your chest as the energy shift continues. Some of you lost touch with this kind of hope during a recent difficult stretch. It did not disappear. It went quiet underneath the noise of the difficulty, but it was always there. And as your energy changes and the difficulty begins to lift, you will feel it returning. Not with fanfare, but with a quiet, solid presence. A warm knowing that things are genuinely going to be all right. More than all right. Things are moving towards something good. The effort has been worth it. The next chapter is going to carry more of what you have been hoping for than the last one did. That is the 11th thing you will feel, Leo, and it is the most important one of all because when hope is real and grounded, it changes the quality of every single moment you live inside it. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are. Your energy is changing, Leo. These 11 things are the first signs. And once you begin to feel them clearly, once you begin to recognize them for what they are, they will accelerate. Because awareness is its own kind of fuel, and you now have more of it than you did before you press play.